Hey you guys, this is Jess with Sourceful Journey back with another video. So I want to do a quick chit chat in regards to one of the latest videos I had put up recently. This one in particular was in regards to those who fit into the space that feel that they are being gang stalked. I gave an analysis of what I thought in regards to my interaction with some of these individuals. And apparently, that could have possibly ruffled some people's feathers. Let's talk about it. If you guys go back and look at my last video, I had shared my thoughts on the interactions I've had with those who've had consultations with me, one-on-one consultations, in regards to the experiences that they've encountered and why they feel that they were victims of gang stalking. I did more of what most people do, especially if you're in a space where you're dealing with life coaching, consultating, things like that. I did what anyone would do. You do what we call a comparative analysis. You start to see a pattern. You have to ask yourself, what's going on? What's really going on? Did just that. Compared notes. And this was not like no comparing of apples to oranges. It wasn't that type of scenario. It was more so like apples, 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 if you catch my drift. Seeing the pattern, you can't help but wonder why. Looking from the outside in, when you're thinking about all the external findings of what was taking place on the outside, when these people would go venturing out to stores or wherever else they need to go to handle errands and such. The same things that they've kept encountering in their day-to-day, and these people know one another from Adam. This was just from them simply having individual one-on-one consultations with myself. You can't help but wonder what's really going on. Anyone with any common sense would say it looks like this is something that's a lot deeper. This isn't like an individual scenario that's taking place. I'm sorry, you guys, I just got a notification. This is something that's going on a deeper scale from an outside group, in my opinion, that's truly taking place. Again, and I still stand on this, for those individuals who are conducting this, conducting these tests, what did you expect these individuals to do? Did you honestly think every single one of these individuals were going to commit suicide? And that was going to be the end of your test? Or did you, at any point during the process of this, figure that, well, there's a chance, a good number of these individuals are going to make it out, and they're going to start to share their stories. And there's a good chance that others are going to get wind of it, and then it's going to prompt some other people to speak on it because they're like, wait, I'm going through the same exact thing, if not more. That's going to cause a trickling effect of responses. And now, we're sitting at a scenario where amazing platforms like TikTok are being considered to be taken out of the equation because it's publicizing so much information, too much information, that these particular groups do not want to get to the masses. As I mentioned in my last video, even when it comes down to the historical context, when it comes to truly learning about others' lineage, information is starting to hit the surface where it has factual material, factual images to back up the claims. It's starting to leak out. And God, my God, if anyone or any individuals were ever able to get into the Vatican files, imagine the type of stuff that would be unleashed, that would be released, that the world would not be ready for. That would be a beautiful day. I say all this to say, again, being an outsider looking from the outside in, you guys should have saw this coming. You should have understood that when you started this testing, when it comes to these individuals, for you to take them out of their sense of normalcy, where they were fine being left alone with their day-to-day dealings, not bothering anyone, but you chose to take it upon yourself to continue this nonsense. Again, what did you expect? You failed to realize, or you failed to understand, a lot of these people have strong connections, especially because I'm pretty sure majority of the individuals, at least the ones I came across, I'm not sure about any other individuals who may have had conversations with these people on their end, but as far as with myself, the ones that I've noticed that I had conversations with, they all have spiritual gifts. The sad part about it is that they had so much going on around them, they didn't realize it. You guys know how I often do this segment called Words, Phrases, and Names of the Week. I do them here periodically, especially if I feel compelled and pushed to do it. There were some other ones I came across recently, and I forgot to tie it into that last video I did just recently. Another word, it's more so a name that I came across quite heavily was, believe it or not, X-Men. Those of you who know, you understand the history and what was the whole idea behind that series, that cartoon. X-Men. How ironic of a time for that particular name, that title, to pop up right after, or actually right around the time I put my video talking about what these individuals have as far as their gifts. So for me to actually see it on such an intense level thereafter, that actual name, every time I looked around, that was telling within myself that I was onto something. Could it actually be that you view these individuals as truly gifted people, but gifted in the sense that they have powers that are a lot deeper than what meets the eye, than what most others may have, which is why they are the target points in your testing. Furthermore, the fact that you've been following these individuals ever since they were being tested in those special programs from the beginning, from when they were little kids. I'm not saying you may have been testing all of them. I'm going to give you some wiggle room. We'll say that you weren't testing all of them up into their adult years. We'll say that. But there's certain particular ones that you have been testing since they were kids, from beginning until now. And it took someone to sit back and analyze it for what it is, be very detailed in terms of questions and note-taking to realize you guys are technically continuing the test from where you left off. And now some individuals' feathers are ruffled because they feel like their cover has been blown. Whose fault is that? I say all that to say, you, my friend, or your group of individuals should have left well alone, but you chose not to. Now you've pushed individuals to a point where they have to be vocal about what they've experienced with others, like such as myself, who are very much aware of what's going on. And now we're speaking on it. What did you expect? It's kind of like that whole notion, as I mentioned, with that one line from Tom Hanks when he was in that film years ago called Apollo 13. Houston, you have a problem. But that was no one else's doing but your own. Did you honestly think these people were going to just stay quiet and allow you to continue to do the nonsense you've been doing? You took them out of their sense of normalcy. What did you expect? Again, if the shoe was on the other foot, how would you feel? You would do the same exact thing. When you have been cornered and you are tired of the bullshit and all they want is just to have their peace of mind back, the sense of normalcy, and not to be bothered, you brought this upon yourself. And now, for a lot of them, it's go time. And oh my gosh, with everything that's happening right now in this world where individuals from different countries are starting to unite with others within the states, you guys really choose a vital time to do all this nonsense right before Trump's inauguration. Isn't that some shit? You should have thought twice. You should have thought twice before doing this nonsense, because now it's like the vision I get is like a lab experiment gone wrong. You know how they have those scenes where there's a lab experiment going wrong, and all of a sudden the animals that they were tested on all of a sudden broke out of the cages, and all you see is like these mixtures of potions and things, and glass valves being knocked over and bursting all over the place, and flames going up. You know, it's like that whole movie scene, like you've seen it before, but now it's happening in regards to the national sense. In a global sense, it's happening. It's like a lab experiment gone wrong. And now you got to figure out how to shut the thing down. So as I mentioned in my last video, what are you guys going to do to clean this mess up? And what's even more funny, on a spiritual level, my God, the fact that there's so many individuals who are trying to throw things off in terms of what was laid out as a plan. There's going to be so many unions that are going to take place in this season, whether you like it or not. The pairings of individuals are going to take form that you would least expect. The funny part in all of this is because you're thinking there's no way that this other person could possibly know who they are supposed to be paired up with. Fail to realize a lot of us have a deeper knowing and have been shown on plenty of occasions who that individual is when it comes to our lives. And you fail to realize that we understand that source. We understand that the spirit, I'm feeling something move right now. I'm feeling something move. Hold on. And you fail to realize that it's already been revealed to some of us. And we know. We know. The funny part, because people fail to realize it all happens in the 5D before it hits the 3D. And you know that too. Furthermore, we're constantly reminded or sent confirmation to let us know the very things that we speak on, that we ponder about, whatever the case may be, are always sent confirmations that it's spot on. I'll use myself as an example. There's plenty of videos, if you guys look closely, where I would say, oh, do you guys remember when I spoke about this, but didn't this happen? There's been plenty of occasions. If you look further down in my videos, you guys, you'll see it. So I'll use myself as an example. I'm so confident within self, I can give a damn about who the surrounding individuals are when it comes to that individual. Because there's been so many signs shown to me that lets me know who that individual is and why, without saying too much. There's been so much. And there's been a lot shown in there too, because I know they figured it out already too. And they probably not even telling these individuals that they know themselves as well. So with all that being said, if no one can really throw off the plan, but let's say if individuals continue to attempt to do it, things will continue to go wrong in your life. It will. To put it plainly, it will. No denial. Because in actuality, what you're doing, you're trying to challenge God's plan. That's what you're doing in all actuality. And the reality of it all is that you can never truly challenge and win in thwarting off God's plan, because at the end of the day, God was the one that created it all. He was the one that created this game that we're in right now, past and present. He created all of it. So what makes you think that you can trump that? I would say if you want less individuals speaking on it, and you do understand, even if you were to rip our platforms from us, right? Let's say we decide to take down our TikToks, ban us because hell, well, I was already been banned. You guys already know I got my Twitter ban? What type of shit is that? And it's all because I was a supporter of Trump. And I wasn't the only one. There's quite a few of us, I think. A lot of us who are pretty vocal when it comes to politics, especially with being a support to him. Got our stuff axed out. Okay, whoop-de-fucking-do. Either way. Again, that's something that is truly within an individual, and it doesn't change us one bit. So let's say you did rip certain platforms, right? That are directly tied to us. That's not stopping the train though. You see, there's always other ways to get the message out if we need to. So it's really a lost cause if you even try to take that route. Furthermore, you know, word spread, right? Especially when it comes to those who follow individuals. So let's say there were so many other pages I can think of that got taken down too, and they went other routes to get the message out. So that's the beautiful world of technology. It doesn't just stop at one outlet, one app. And again, I feel like if you really want to find a way to rectify the situation, start by giving these individuals their sense of normalcy back. First and foremost, I think they should be compensated for the shit that you put them through. Anyone who's been exposed to gang stalking, and you guys knowingly did it, because we know you guys have a list of who you're keeping track of, and we're not oblivious to it. We know that you guys have a way of tracking who you're doing this to. After all, if you can go as far as doing fingerprinting on some people, that tells us you got records of that. Anyhow, start by with maybe give them some form of compensation for the hardship. Furthermore, find a way to clean some of this mess up. Do so in such a way of maybe explaining to them, being completely honest about why you chose to begin this testing. This whole testing experience kind of reminds me of the city projects you guys set up. Remember there was a certain project you guys had set up in Illinois, I think it was, and there was a Ford plant there. It was in Ford Heights, I think, Ford Heights, Illinois. There's this one project area, I never forget, as a kid, we would go past there. And what's interesting is that certain area, the projects that was once over there, all of a sudden it's like a ghost town. It's a ghost town. It's been ripped down. The buildings have been, what they call that, wrecked. Like, you know, they take a wrecking ball and they knock them down completely. It's just like that. And what was so funny, because I remember as a kid when going through there, the buildings, all of them looked the same, and they were truly projects. The way they were set up, it was like a, I don't want to say mini jail cell, but in a sense, I mean, because they were all shaped, or structured, I should say, the same. And so much was going on. And we have certain individuals in close proximity to one another like that. Violence tends to be very rampant. So whatever project that they were focused on when creating those buildings at the time, and having all those people there, and all that activity that took place that was not good, it looks like they got the results they needed, which is why they had those individuals to vacate that location and decided to tear those buildings down altogether. And oh, the buildings were actually made of brick. I can't believe I still remember that. That's crazy. I remember when I went to go visit family, because I actually have family that stayed over there too. Now that I'll just go ahead and tell you guys that I do have family that stayed over there, and I made some friends as a kid over there too. I remember when some of the people that were over there, if they were getting ready to have like a fight, right, like a gang fight, where they're shooting, we were told to lay on the floor. The floor was cold as hell. That floor was cold. We had to lay on it. Just because if a bullet flew through the window, it wouldn't hit us. So we did just that. It was that volatile of a environment. And it could be a simple case. It's not like we went over to visit and we knew it was going to happen. No, it'd be a simple case where we're going to go visit family. Then all of a sudden we're hearing some ruckus going on outside, and everybody's like, oh, okay, get in the house because they're getting ready to have it out. And so everybody from their mom, their aunts, you name it, kids included, got into the house and let them have at it on the outside, but we had to lay on the floor. All because of some type of testing. You guys have a way, you have time to make this right. They will feel no need to want to further speak on it. You understand? It's the moment. It's the moment that you guys continue to allow this to play out. The more people are going to be vocal about it. Whether it's those who are taking notes from speaking with these people directly, or whether it's individuals who've actually experienced it themselves. It might be a combination of both. It could be an individual or individuals who not only speak to others who are going through it, but they too may either be going through it or have went through it and know what it's like. So, and oh my gosh, if it's an individual like that, let's say if it's an individual where they are experiencing this whole thing, the gang stalking, all this nonsense, right? Let's say they were that type of person, or they're experiencing it, and they're also interacting with individuals who are experiencing it or who've experienced it as well. You are dealing with a force to be reckoned with, and that's something to be very scared of. I'd be afraid if I were you. But like I said before, you guys have the ability, you can make things right. You know how to get in contact with these individuals. Do just that. Make it right. If you don't want them to continue to speak on it or to share details with people such as myself, do what's right. That's all for this quick video, you guys. It probably wasn't that quick, but I just felt the need to say on it because I know I had a feeling. And then certain things started being revealed to me. Then I started picking up certain things online, but also just in regards to a dream that it might have ruffled somebody's feathers or a group of people's feathers. I would do a courtesy for y'all, but no, I'm wearing jeans today. So, I don't know where that came from. Sorry, you guys. I would just hope that they would do what's right, and then things can kind of go back to normal. But if you choose, you want to continue to play this game, do expect more people to be more vocal about it now. And the more vocal they are with individuals across the board, not only myself, because I'm sure I'm not the only person that's hearing it, the more vocal we're going to be when it comes to sharing the details for others to hear as well. And please keep in mind, one platform or two, whatever the case may be, it's all fine and well. If you decide to close those out, okay, do it if you need to. But do understand this. It's never going to stop the words from getting out. There's still other ways that we have to work around it, so it's no point in doing it. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. I do want to welcome all the newcomers who are joining my pages. I do see you guys, and I appreciate you. Consultations are still open as well. I actually have some set up for Monday. So I'm mentally preparing for that because it's the holiday. I wanted to kind of chill out, but it was kind of like a misstep on mine. I didn't block it out, but I'm going to take care of it. And yeah, look at the calendar, you guys. You'll see all the details there as far as what dates and times are available. If you have any issue with scheduling on the calendar, you can also just direct message me or email me, and we can set it up from there. So as always, I'm sending you guys off with love and light, and I will see you in the next video. Be blessed, you guys.